Hey, I'm Adam Jusko, and this is Adam Answers, where we answer the burning and not so burning questions of the day. In this video, Paramount Plus, what is it? What does it cost? Is it worth the cost? What are you getting? What are you not getting? All that kind of stuff. If you find the video worthwhile, give us a like, maybe subscribe to the channel. So Paramount Plus is just launching as I make this video, and it is a rebranding and an extension of what was CBS All Access. So Paramount kind of rebranding it and pumping it up a little bit in order to compete with the likes of other streaming services like Disney Plus and HBO Max and Discovery Plus and Hulu, and of course, Netflix. All right, so let's start by talking about what Paramount Plus is and what it is not. Paramount Plus is a streaming service that, like Netflix and many of the other streaming services, is sort of a mixture of on-demand TV series and movies. You are getting some of the vast back catalog as well as original programming from CBS and from Paramount Pictures, and then also from BET and Comedy Central and the Smithsonian Channel and Nickelodeon and MTV. In addition, through Paramount Plus, you are getting some live CBS programming. This may include your local CBS channel. That is going to depend on when you are watching this video and what package you have bought, and we'll talk about that in a second. So it may include your local CBS channel. It also will include CBS Sports HQ, obviously a lot of sports programming, and then also CBSN, which is sort of like a CNN news service type of thing that streams all the time, and there also is ET Live. Now let's talk about what you are not getting. Outside of perhaps your local CBS station, you are not getting streaming of those other networks that I talked about. So you're not getting live streaming of BET or Comedy Central or Nickelodeon or MTV or the Smithsonian Channel. Instead, you're getting on-demand content. You can watch whenever you want to the content that is on the platform, but you are not getting the live streaming of whatever happens to be on that channel at this point. So if you were thinking of Paramount Plus as perhaps a replacement for those channels, it is not. You are not going to see exactly whatever is being, broadcast on Comedy Central right now. You're going to get the on-demand stuff. So that's what you're getting from Paramount Plus, sort of the back catalog of CBS and these other channels. Now, like many of the other streaming services that do sort of this same thing, like Disney Plus and Discovery Plus and HBO Max and all that kind of stuff, what is probably going to make or break it for you in terms of whether it is worth it is going to be the original programming and perhaps how often and how many of the latest movies that you want to see are going to be on the service. So we'll talk more about that original programming in a second, but let's talk first about costs so you can kind of have both of these things rattling around your head to decide if this seems like it might be worth it for you. So there are two plans as Paramount Plus launches. One of them is the limited commercials plan, costs $5.99 per month, or you could choose to go for a whole year at once, $59.99 in that case. You could think of that as $6 a month or $60 per year. If you want to have the commercial-free plan, which is no commercials on anything except perhaps live streaming television, that's going to be $9.99 per month or $99.99 per year. You could think of it as $10 per month, or you could pay $100 and get the full year. A couple other things to mention in terms of costs. As I make this video, it is March of 2021, and I'm telling you the costs for now. In June, that limited commercials plan is going to change. The price is actually going to drop from $5.99 per month to $4.99 per month, but you're going to lose your local CBS station if you sign up after June. So if you sign up before then, you'll kind of have it grandfathered in. After that, you would not get it as part of that $4.99 per month plan. So if you can get your local CBS station elsewhere, maybe that doesn't matter to you, but if for whatever reason you feel like you need that in this package, you should know that information. Now, we should also talk about if you were a subscriber to CBS All Access before. If you were already paying, you were already a subscriber, you're really just gonna roll over to Paramount Plus and you're not going to have any changes in the short term. Now that you know the costs, let's get back to the content so you can think about what it is you're paying for. At launch, Paramount Plus says that it has 30,000 TV episodes and 2,500 movies on its platform. Of course, many of those are going to be older TV shows and older movies that you may not be all that interested in. Some of them might be nice for a lazy Sunday afternoon, but probably you are going to be interested in what kind of new programming there is that you can't find anywhere else, and also what kind of movies you might be able to get your hands on as part of this package. So let's start on the movie front. Paramount obviously has a lot of great movies in their past. They undoubtedly will have a lot of great movies in the future. Those new great movies, as they come out, will hit the Paramount Plus platform anywhere from within only about 6 weeks after they are released in theaters to more like 3 months. So it probably depends on how in demand the movie is once it hits theaters as to when it will show up on Paramount Plus. But two of the movies that have been talked about already as ones that will hit more in that 6-week time frame are A Quiet Place Part 2, which is coming out in September, I believe, and then also Mission Impossible 7, which is slated to come out in November. Both of those should show up on Paramount Plus fairly quickly after that point. So that's great to hear, but I have to say that as Paramount Plus is launching, the movie selection is not really all that great. And you would think that as you are rebranding from CBS All Access to Paramount Plus, especially since Paramount is sort of associated with movies versus TV, that you would want to have some very good movies on there. And a lot of the ones that are on the service as it launches are kind of older movies, good movies, but older movies, not necessarily what you would be hoping to see. Probably the most exciting newer movie on there is an original SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. Now, if the movie side of things is a little underwhelming at launch with Paramount Plus, the TV side is a little better. You've got a nice back catalog of CBS shows, so if there are shows you like that you never finished or you never started and you want to binge watch for a while, there's a lot of good stuff there. CSI, NCIS, Chappelle Show, Key and Peele, 48 Hours, 60 Minutes, Star Trek out the wazoo, all kinds of stuff. And then on the original programming side, there already are some original series that started when it was CBS All Access that will come on over to Paramount Plus, things like Star Trek Picard, The Stand, The Twilight Zone, and others as well. And then you have a lot of new shows that they are promising that are going to come out as well. A reboot of Frasier is coming, The Real World Homecoming. There is a spin-off of Yellowstone. There's another SpongeBob show called Camp Coral. A lot of other stuff is promised in the future as well. That said, I don't know if there is a killer movie or a killer original series here that would make you run out and sign up for Paramount Plus. Maybe if you were really into Star Trek, maybe if you were really into SpongeBob. In fact, if you were really into kids programming in general, and that was important to you, there's a nice back catalog, and there are some things like a reboot of Dora the Explorer and Rugrats and an Avatar Last Airbender spin-off, it seems, that are coming. So maybe that is something that would motivate you as well. But for a lot of people, they're going to look at what Paramount Plus is offering at launch and say, maybe I can wait it out. And maybe that is why Paramount Plus, at least at launch, is giving a free month before you actually have to start to pay. All right, so that's the content and the pricing. Let's talk about a few technical details. If you want Paramount Plus, you'll be able to find it on most of the devices that you would normally think a streaming service like this would be found at. You can get it through Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TVs, Apple and Android mobile devices at ParamountPlus.com if you want to watch it on your computer. In terms of who can watch and how many people can watch at the same time, you can have 3 simultaneous streams, so 3 different places in your home. Someone could be watching different things. You can have 6 user profiles, meaning that up to 6 people in a family could have their own unique profile where they watch what they want to watch and they get new recommendations based on that, and it keeps track of their history if they're in the middle of a series, all that kind of stuff. Now, if you have the more expensive commercial-free version of Paramount Plus, you also have the option to download many of the episodes or movies on the service in order to keep them and watch them at a time that you are not connected to the internet. So you could have them on your computer or on your mobile device or whatever, and you could watch them at your leisure if you didn't have internet access in a car, whatever. So that is it. Over time, I think Paramount Plus is going to be a worthwhile service that will feel like it is worth your money. It sounds like they are making a real commitment to new series, and you have to imagine that some of those series are going to turn turn into pretty big hits as more new movies are made and released in the theaters and then make their way to the platform. Obviously, the value of Paramount Plus will go up as well. At launch, maybe a little underwhelming as far as I'm concerned. I don't know that there's a need to run out and join this service just because they've rebranded and added some content. But I imagine that it will do well and that over time, a lot of people are going to want to get on board. So that is it. Questions, comments, put them in that comments section down there. Otherwise, I thank you for watching and we'll talk to you again soon.